Welcome to this episode of Mainline Connect. I'm Jennifer Lynn Robinson, and my guests today are Ray Little, the Executive Director of Save Me Adoption Center, and AnneMarie Freeman, who's the manager at Doggy Style. Thank you for coming today, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for you.
And of course, this is Kelly.
This is Kelly.
Who's one of the adoptable dogs at Save Me.
That's right. She's about 3 years old, and she just came to us. We're going to start looking for a home for her as of today.
And she is so well behaved and the sweetest, prettiest little dog that I want to take home myself. So this is one of my favorite topics. I've told you guys, just like I'm sure you are, I'm a big animal person. I have 3 rescues of my own, and I love any opportunity to talk about adoption and rescue. We like to start the show talking about something to help people with kind of networking and marketing their business. And I thought something really interesting to talk about, as far as adoption of animals would be social media. Because, I know when I started adopting animals, there really was no social media. And really short of going to the shelters and kind of walking the rows, there wasn't really even any way to figure out the pets that were available for adoption. Of course, shelters would try to put animals online on their websites, but with the resources and the staff, they weren't always up to date, and it was tough. So I'm curious, how the rise of social media has helped the cause of animal adoption, because to me it seems like it's been a major influence. What are your thoughts on that?
I think it's made an enormous difference. We have about 11,000 followers on Facebook, and that's always growing.
Okay.
And we have so many friends that are sharing the photos of our dogs and cats, and we find that networking through social media works the best. People are always referring their friends, their family. We have people who just kind of stalk our Facebook page looking for the dog that they've been looking for, and then we have people who actually just network the dogs. They share with other groups and just make sure that our dogs get seen in as many places as possible.
So how much, do you think that visibility has helped, the social media? I don't know if you have numbers or statistics, but as far as what you've seen, because I know you've been involved in this world, most of your life, do you think it's been a major help as far as how many animals get adopted?
We've seen a steady increase over the last 6 years, probably anywhere between 10 to 20%, and I would attribute that mostly to social media and people networking for us through Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Yeah, that's great. One of my dogs, 2 of my dogs are from ACT Philly, and one of them was an ACT Pen Pal. Are you familiar with that program?
I am.
So basically they're assigned 1 or 2 people that are sort of in charge of getting this animal adopted, and they foster the animal, and they promote it through social media. And I remember it was right around Valentine's Day in 2012, and I saw who's now my Braxton. He's a pit bull Dalmatian mix, and there was a picture of him with a big heart around his head, and they had some kids from a local school make Valentine's cards for the dogs, and there was just something about him when I saw him on social media, and I said, this is the one, we have to go see him. But if not for social media, we never would have seen him.
You never know when that connection is going to be made, and it's so much better with the media.
No, that's great. So Doggy Style Narberth, you guys opened earlier this year, and tell us about the store and kind of what you offer there.
Yeah, so we opened early 2016. What we offer, we have a wide variety of pet foods, not just for dogs and cats, but for small animals, fish, birds, and even like a small section of like little reptile like food.
Okay.
We offer grooming services for both dogs and cats, and we also offer the Doggy Style University, which is our dog training classes.
And tell us more about the training that you offer.
Yeah, so the training is ran by Larry Fine, who's local to the Mainline area. So classes start September 13th, which is coming up. We offer dog and puppy obedience classes and socialization classes, as well as a dog walking class. And then also there is a human behavior course, which is just for owners to go know pets, just so that people know that our emotions and our body language does affect our dogs. So it's a great class to sign up for.
Yeah, Larry, he's been our dog sitter for about 6 years.
He's
and,
great.
He's wonderful. And his book, Doggyality, he's really wonderful at what he does. So, and I love that you're offering the class for humans as well, because I know he's told us that on more than one occasion, that it's us that has to change the behavior.
Yeah, a lot of it, and it works. I've referred, there's been a lot of adoption dogs that come in, and, you know, sometimes, like, the transition of adopting, like, is kind of hard at first, and so we get a lot of calls that's like, oh, I don't know what's going on, you know.
Right.
And I always refer Larry to them. I'm like, call him up, you know, if it's still, our classes are about to start again, so if you still feel like you need some, like, obedience training, like, just the basic, like, sit, stay, you know, please, like, come sign up for those. So.
And you said those are all starting in September, it
Yep,
sounds
September
like.
13th.
Okay, great. So, you know, I know one of the things I noticed when I came in that I really enjoyed is that you have a whole kind of treat bar, almost the way you would go into a human bakery and have, you know, an assortment of different cookies and occasions and birthday cakes and things like that, which I thought was really fun. And, you know, I know in talking to people there, you know, it seems like the dog birthday parties are a really big trend. How much do you guys see things like that? Because I think that's the cutest thing.
Yeah, no, it actually is, like, more like becoming, I feel like. I mean, pets, you know, as we all know, like, we're all pet owners. They're part of our family.
Sure.
Like, they are our children, basically. So, and people are including them into their life events, like weddings. My friend, her pug is going to be her ring bearer in November, so it's, like, the cutest thing. But yeah, I think birthdays, a lot of people are, like, celebrating it, whether if it's their actual birth date or their adoption birth date.
Right.
And we also have birthday hats at our store locations and bandanas, and so, I mean, it's not just, like, the cookies.
All kinds of party supplies.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That's great. So, you know, I know Doggy Style is also a chain, so there's the location that's nearest to me where I got to know you guys in Narberth, and then you have some other locations, I think all in the city, is that right? Okay, and where are they?
So it's all based, like, local to Philadelphia. There are actually 8 other stores aside from Narberth. One just opened up in the Fairmount location in July, but we have several different ones in Center City. There's the one that's, like, next to Save Me in Northern Liberties on 3rd and Poplar, but they're all kind of, like, scattered throughout, like, different major neighborhoods. So, like, South Philly, Center City, Old City, and Northern Liberties.
Are they all affiliated with an adoption or rescue center?
Yes, they are. They might not have, like, but we all partner with them, and we all have a space to hold dogs, like, either in our window front, and it's all geared toward the neighborhood. So where I used to work at 21st and South, that neighborhood tends to have a lot of larger dogs, so we'll usually get a lot of larger dogs from Ray for that area because they tend to get, like, adopted out quicker.
Okay, that makes sense. So yeah, I love that. I mean, one of the things, you know, I think I'd mention is, you know, and you guys know, going into the shelters, sometimes they're in areas that maybe are not as accessible to some people, and, you know, clearly I think hours over time have really improved as far as people going and seeing dogs and animals for adoption, but it's hard sometimes for people to get there. But, you know, if they're coming into your store locations and the animals are right there, I think it's a lot easier, a lot more visibility, and, you know, it's a lot, in some ways, I think, less traumatic, because it's hard, you know, it's, I mean, if you've been somebody who's gone to a shelter to adopt, you want to take every dog there, every animal there home, and, you know, a lot of them are looking at you, and you just feel terrible.
Yeah,
so I mean, I think,
sad eyes.
Yeah, so I think, you know, having the dogs in the store locations where people are coming in, and you know, they can play with them, and they can kind of come in anytime to the store and see them, and then, like, you guys do a great job of posting them on social media, as we were talking about, not only when they're available for adoption, but then when they're adopted, which people love to see. So, you know, how important is it to have that relationship kind of together with the retail location and the adoption?
I think it's very important. The neighborhoods, like AnneMarie said, are specific to certain dogs, but we also find that no matter what dogs we take there, they get visited constantly. Some people come in day after day just to say hello to the dogs.
Yeah.
It's so much fun for the dogs. We have volunteers going into the stores and walking them, so it gets the neighborhood folks involved and really engaged in our mission, which we truly love.
And I would think it would really help a lot with the socialization of the animals too.
It makes a huge difference. They're not sitting in their kennels all day, and, you know, we feel good about the fact that they're getting out and seen.
Yeah, so do you have people come in who are in a position to adopt at all, that just come in to play with the dogs?
Yeah,
All the time.
we have a lot of students, and one of the things that they always say is, I can't have a dog, but I need my fix of dogs, so I'm going to volunteer.
That's great, and that's super helpful to you anyway, so yeah, it's a win-win. So as far as doggy style, what do you think sets it apart from kind of other locations, retail locations for animals?
Oh, well, I think what sets us apart is, you know, not just the products that we offer and the variety and, you know, our affordable pricing. You know, we usually try to like mark down a lot of stuff to be like affordable instead of marking up. But, you know, we do work alongside with Save Me adoptions like really closely, and a lot of our revenue that we like make goes back to like the shelter and stuff. So I think that's a huge part, and we're always involved in like the community around us as well. So I think that's like what really sets us apart from other stores, is because we don't just see like customers as customers, but they're part of the Doggy Style Pets family. Like I've seen dogs like come in when they're just like adopted and like 3 months old, and like I've seen them grown up. Like I know their names, I know their owners, I know what they want. Like every time I see them, I'm like, hey, you guys are back. Like, how's Luna doing? Like, give them a treat. Like, it's a wonderful, and it's like great to be a part of something and to be a part of someone's life like that. So I think like it's just amazing.
Yeah, you've both mentioned, you know, so far the importance of kind of involving the local community. What are some of the things that you do at the Doggy Style locations to help involve the local community so that they're a part of your efforts? I know you guys have a lot of events and things like that.
Oh yeah, we have adoption events in the neighborhood, and a lot of those are brought to our attention by the folks that visit Doggy Style.
Okay.
We also will have special adoption events at Doggy Style as well. We have one of the things that we benefit from is the fact that they recruit volunteers for us. They also can help us when we need to fundraise. They've offered to keep you know, fundraising kiosks in each of their locations, so that we can further benefit. And the benefits of being involved with a partner like Doggy Style are numerous.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, we just recently went to the Narbark in the end of summer, and that was so
that was fun.
We do Doggy Style Pets also does fundraisers outside of Save Me. We usually give gift baskets to different ones. I know I've recently gotten lots of people come in for mails. I know like in the mail or come in. I think there was like a 5K run that we gave a gift basket of some sort to. And outside of Ray, I also work with Terry May, who is in charge of the Animal Rescue Network, to find homes for cats that these women foster. And so I usually hold like events in our store for them. Yeah.
So both of you, you know, well, especially you, right, have a lot of fundraising efforts, I would think, with Save Me.
Yeah,
What do you think the biggest challenge is right now as far as fundraising?
Well, I think reaching the largest audience is important. We need to build our donor support pool, and we find that people are willing to help when they know that there's a crisis. For instance, when we have animals who need some sort of medical attention, people really step up.
Oh yeah.
And we have we have animals that are in a kill shelter somewhere, and we want to have them transported. People donate to help us with the transport cost. One of the challenges is just keeping in touch with them, and you know, we like to do that. We like to be able to get back in touch with them after they've donated. And if you can't donate, you can adopt. If you can't adopt, then you can volunteer.
Right.
If you can't volunteer, then you can share our stories with your friends and family.
Do you do any kind of annual events with Save Me, such as a gala or different smaller events?
Well, we've been planning something. That sort of signature event is in the planning, but we have been invited back many times to the same events each year. We're going to be at the Hotel Monaco at 4th and Chestnut for our 4th year in a row. That's on August 25th.
Okay. And what kind of event is that?
This is a dog wash. We set up a dog wash that benefits Save Me, and the hotel employees and our volunteers get together, and they do a little bath on the sidewalk for the dogs.
Very nice.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
And what other events and things do you have coming up?
Well, locally in October we'll be at the Upper Merion Township building for Sprout Fest.
Okay.
That's on October 2nd. So we'll be in this area, and we have lots of other events that you can see on our website or watch our Facebook page, and as they come up, we list them.
Sprout Fest is one of the big area dog events, and lots of rescues and places get involved. Can you tell people more about that for maybe people who don't know of Sprout Fest?
Sprout Fest is, I would estimate, at least 25, 30 rescues bring dogs, and they bring other sort of fundraising tools, and they bring educational things to get the community involved. And Sprout was a little Chihuahua that was rescued by Grace Kelly of Finding Shelter, and this whole event is in his memory. He was a sweet little dog, and everybody remembers how he really put
he
up
was a dog.
Yeah.
No, I love that she does the event. It seems like it gets bigger every year,
It does,
and more people get involved, more and more places get involved, which is great.
It's
a great example too of, like you said, networking, but collaboration among all these different agencies and everything as well. I think it's wonderful. Probably the biggest one that goes on around here, I think, now during the year.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, that's great. So, as far as the mission of Save Me, I guess what works for you guys as far as getting the word out, the visibility, the networking? What's some things that have worked well for you?
Well, really, our adopters are a good source. They refer friends and families, members. Using Facebook appearances like this are priceless. We really need to talk about what we do, and basically get the point across that we are a no-kill shelter. We're rescuing these dogs from shelters where they're in danger of being euthanized because of overcrowding, because of just the lack of opportunity to be seen, and we have that opportunity. So we really we need help making these animals' wishes come true. Their wishes are very simple, just to have a home and a family. So yeah.
So you told me a story actually before we started this interview that I think would be great as an example of a specific situation. You mentioned a dog that was going to be euthanized simply because the shelter was going to be closed for 3 days with no staff there.
That's correct. Gibbony is one of our dogs. He's been with us since Thanksgiving, and the shelter in Georgia was getting ready to close for Thanksgiving holiday, and that meant that all of the dogs had to either leave or they would be euthanized. So we stepped in, and our friend Karen from Animal Aid USA asked us if we could help him, and we're happy to help when we can.
Sure, sure. Yeah, and I think in general, holidays are a tough time at the shelter, right? Less people getting out to see the dogs, and probably more dogs and animals are coming in, right? So that's a lot of time probably where you have overcrowding.
It's one of the times right now during the summer is also another time when there's a lot of overcrowding. So
but you guys are no-kill. So.
We're no-kill, so the dogs stay with us until they find homes.
And what's the process if somebody wants to adopt through Save Me? What does that look like?
There's a questionnaire that we ask you to fill out. We do ask that that you be able to show us that you either own your home or you have permission from your landlord.
Okay.
And then we will ask for either a veterinary reference or 3 personal references. Once that's done, you can begin meeting dogs, and if things go well and it seems like a match, everybody gets along, then we're happy to have you join our family.
Yeah, people who already have existing animals in the house, do you have them come with the animals and meet the
It's
prospective
suggested.
dogs?
Sometimes their pets are afraid of coming into the shelter, so sometimes we'll take the dogs outside and go for a walk together.
Okay.
And of course we're available to facilitate that kind of meeting however we can.
Yeah. So, I know we've talked a lot about kind of what you guys do. What about your background? Whoever wants to start, kind of what got you in this field of working with animals? Why do you enjoy it?
I can start. Well, My family has like always been animal lovers. Like
Okay.
all of my dad's side of the family has all like had dogs like since we've been growing up. I moved to Philadelphia just recently, about 2 years ago, with my boyfriend. We lived in Nashville at the time, but he got accepted to UPenn for a graduate program. Moved here, kind of was just walking around, actually South Philly, and I saw the doggy style store. I saw the dog. I went in. I was like just interacting, and then on the way out I saw now hiring sign, and I was like, oh, I can just come in and walk these dogs, and and so I applied and I interviewed and I got hired, and I've been with Doggy Style Pets for a little over, I guess now it's going on 2 years now.
Okay.
And it's been wonderful. I've learned so much just like in the company, just like growing as a person, and it's like really beneficial when I see and like can help these dogs like get adopted, and it's just like such a great like company to work for. Them giving back, them working with Ray and Save Me is just, and like also interacting with the community is just like really awesome.
And how many of your own pets do you have?
I have only one.
The only one.
Yeah,
What do you have?
I have a cat. My apartment's a little too small, but as soon as I move, I know for a fact that I'm probably gonna get a dog. It's actually funny, when I got the cat, my parents were like, "You've grown up with dogs this whole time and you got a cat?" And I was like, oh, but she just fits perfectly in my family. Like, she actually kind of behaves like a dog sometimes. If we're eating or if my boyfriend's cooking, she's like right in the kitchen. If she's sleeping in the bedroom and pots and pans are clinking, I hear her like just go and run, and she's like begging almost, and she like lifts her legs up all the time. I'm like, ugh, crazy, but yep, she's great. I actually rescued her from Save Me.
Okay.
When we were doing the construction to put the adoption center in Narberth, they were gonna bring her back to the shelter, and I was like, oh, I'll just foster her, until you guys are done with the room.
So you were a failed foster.
Yeah, basically. Which
great.
I guess was great, yeah, because now it works out.
And what about you, Ray? I know you've been doing this for many, many years.
Yeah, I first started volunteering at the Pennsylvania SPCA. I think you were volunteering at the time, and I had an opportunity to quit my job, which I did because I was so in love with this kind of work. And the Pennsylvania SPCA offered me a position as the volunteer coordinator, and it really stuck. I mean, this is addicting work. You get, there are highs and lows to it, and you just keep going on. The high points keep you going.
And how long have you been with Save Me?
I've been with Save Me now for 6 years.
And how many animals do you have at home?
I have 4. I haven't been quite able to resist 4 of the animals that I've helped along the way.
Okay. So we were talking about the PSPCA for a minute, and and those people in the animal community around here, I'm sure, are familiar with George Bengal, who just passed away.
Yeah.
And he was such a big influence on.
Great person.
Yeah, just everything that him and his team did in this area, and now they have a special fund for him. So, if people aren't aware, I mean, their team basically went to often dangerous situations around the area and rescued animals. And he passed away of cancer, but now they have a really amazing fund in his name. And I was really sad to see. I mean, he was a wonderful person, and their unit did such great work. Yeah.
It's amazing in Philadelphia. We have a network of amazing people. It's just inspiring, and the animals here are so lucky to have so many people working on their behalf.
Yeah, yeah. So shifting gears a little, we're coming into the last part of 2016. What are maybe something that you both are looking in your own lives to accomplish that is outside of all this work we're talking about? Somewhere maybe you're looking to travel, or a goal you're looking to accomplish?
Travel would be nice. A vacation would be would
Do you
be
take
lovely.
vacation, or you?
It's difficult because there's always something on the horizon, some emergency or animals that just, or projects that we're working on, like opening new adoption centers.
Okay.
So that takes up a lot of time.
Sure. You have to make time for yourself.
I've taken
though.
a couple of vacations along the way, but
So if you could pick somewhere to go as your next trip, where would it be?
oh, probably London.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, part of my family's from London.
Okay. Do you get back there often or no?
No, I've never been. So
you've
this
never
would,
been,
yeah,
okay.
this would be a first trip for me.
Oh, that's great. Okay. And what about you?
Nothing too extravagant. Just maybe move out of my tiny one-bedroom apartment in West Philly into a place that has a yard, so I could get a dog and talk my boyfriend into that.
Very good.
Yeah. But no, I don't have. Just probably see my family because they're still in Nashville. So
Okay.
I don't really have any family out here, so it'd be nice just like.
That's tough.
Yeah.
Nashville's a great city.
It is. I love
Yeah.
it. But yeah, just to see them. So.
Yeah. So, you know, as far as the adoption stuff, I know, you know, like I said, I have 3 rescue dogs, and we've had other ones over the years, and just like any animal you bring in the home, you know, sometimes there are issues of adjustment, and especially when you have multiple animals in the house. You know, how do you deal with that? What advice do you have for people as far as, you know, somebody coming back and saying, oh, we thought this dog was going to be a good fit, and it's fighting with our other dog, and we don't think we can keep it, and, you know, how do you handle those situations?
Well, first we might refer that person to a trainer, or we might try to counsel them ourselves, and, you know, and very often management and patience and time can work. But if there's really an issue, then we encourage them to return the dog to us. We do take back any dog that's adopted from us for any reason, but we'd like it if they would give things a try. And of course, when they take the pet home for the first time, we ask them to be patient and to take things very slowly.
Yeah, I think some of that, like you said, I mean, I think it comes down to managing expectations. I think, you know, people always assume that when you bring an animal home, it's just going to be, you know, everything's going to be perfect, and there's not going to be one accident, and everybody's going to get along. But I mean, that doesn't happen with people. So, yeah.
You can expect to housebreak them and go to a training class with them. These are all things that new pet parents should expect.
Yeah, I mean, I think at this point my husband and I are used to that. Not that, you know, we're happy about it like most, you know, people, but, you know, over the years we've lost some good shoes, you know, nice rug and furniture, you know, like you kind of get used to that, and that's just part of
go with the
being
flow,
a dog parent. Yeah, and you know, just recognize that's going to be part of the deal. Yeah. But they bring so much to your lives. I think that's really what it comes down to.
It's certainly worth it.
Yeah. So, you know, I know you mentioned the dog wash coming up at Hotel Monaco. I think you said that's August 25th. And we talked about Sprout Fest, and you said that there's other events that people can look at the website.
Yeah, in the fall, generally things pick up. We haven't booked anything for August, but I'm looking at several events in September, and we'll list those on our website.
Okay. Yeah. And what about for Doggy Style? Are there certain things coming up that maybe you want to talk about? Any events or promotions?
As of right now, we just have Doggy Style University resuming again in September, and you know, Halloween's right around the corner, so usually we'll get fully stocked with Halloween-themed bakery, toys, lots of costumes, and I know in the city that we usually do a dog costume contest at Cedar Park, but I'm sure we'll probably do one out in the mainline area. Probably collaborate with some of the other like local organizations and see if we can't do another sort of either dog walk costume parade, or you know, just enter your dog onto our Doggy Style Facebook page, and then we like vote for a winner and give you a prize. So
that's great. There is one that goes on every year in Ardmore that I've had one of my dogs in, where they do a contest and they have kind of local celebrities judge it, and everybody comes, and it's a lot of fun. And a lot of people just don't even come with their dog; they just come to watch because it's so much fun. Yeah, so that's something you could get involved in, but I love the idea of the posting your dog in the whole contest too, and people get really creative.
And like for cats too, I know when the Pope came to visit, we had a Pope costume contest, and like our second prize winner was a cat. So like she came in and got like an extra small and put it on her cat, and it was the funniest thing. So
that's so cute. Yeah. So, you know, as far as what your needs are and how people can reach you. Why don't you tell people about that, like your website, your phone number, and things like that?
Yeah. So you can either come by the store. We're at 701 Montgomery Avenue. It's right across from the Albright's flower shop. Or you can give us a call. Our number is 610-617-3300. So I have a whole lot of staff. My name is AnneMarie. I'm the manager. You can either contact me or talk to any one of my staff members.
And if you're interested in visiting our pets, you can go to any one of our 9 adoption centers, including the one in Narberth and the one in Poplar. No appointment is necessary. We're open 7 days a week. You can also view our adoptable pets online at www.saveme.org. You can find tabs on our website to sign up to be a volunteer, to donate, and to get involved in many other ways.
Great. Well, thank you guys for coming on today, and thank you to Kelly, who's been super well behaved, and I'm sure we'll have no problem finding a home. And thank you for joining us today.